It's the end of the 19th century and you're a hardworking rancher trying to get your best cattle to the market. You'll construct buildings to unlock new actions, participate in the expansion of the railroad to secure juicy contracts, buy cattle to increase the value of your herd, and you'll hire specialized workers to help you earn money and victory points in Great Western Trail El Paso, which was designed by Alexander Pfister and Johannes Kraner and published by Lookout Games, who sponsored this video. Hi everyone, my name is Candace Harris from Board Game Geek. It's time to grab your cowboy hat, saddle up, and get down to the table to go a little more in focus on Great Western Trail El Paso. Great Western Trail El Paso is a strategy game for 1 to 4 players featuring a unique blend of deck building with a rondel of variable actions and multiple paths to victory. It's a streamlined, compact version of the original Great Western Trail. It plays in half the amount of time, and it has a much smaller footprint on the table with its small cloth mat game board and condensed player boards. During the game, you move your herder along a circular trail that keeps bringing you back to El Paso. Along the path, you'll stop at different buildings performing a variety of actions to set yourself up for lucrative cattle deliveries in El Paso. Everyone begins the game with some money, workers, and a matching deck of low-value cattle cards. After moving on your turn, you can perform actions on the location where you land. There are a variety of different actions from the neutral buildings along the trail, and as the game progresses, players build common buildings to further expand the available actions on the trail. There are actions that allow you to gain money, certificates, use auxiliary actions on your player board, and hire workers to help with key actions such as buying cattle. Plus, there are lots of ways to cycle through your deck to improve your hand of cards to score as many victory points as you can each time you deliver your cattle in El Paso. After each delivery, you'll start back at the beginning of the trail and gradually make your way back up the trail again in hopes to improve your hand of cattle cards each time you deliver to El Paso. If you played any earlier versions of Great Western Trail, there are a few key differences in El Paso that make it more accessible and easier to get to the table. First, there are no objective cards and no hazard or outlaw tiles in Great Western Trail El Paso. The cattle delivery procedure has been simplified as well. You always get $5 from the bank and add 1 Cemental cattle card to your discard pile. You'll still reveal your hand of cattle cards and total up the breeding value of each different type of cattle and unlock a disc on your player board as usual. And when the last Cemental cattle card is taken, that's what triggers the end of the game. But the biggest changes from the original Great Western Trail are related to the workers and the train. Instead of tiles, your workers are cards that you spend by discarding them into your personal discard pile to perform actions. As usual, your builders allow you to place common buildings on empty building spaces or replace one of your existing buildings with a fancier building. With your cowboys, you can buy more premium cattle from the cattle market, and with your engineers, you can use the train. However, there's no train track or train pieces in Great Western Trail El Paso. Instead, the train has been stripped down to 4 cards, and you'll spend engineers to activate one of them to gain bonus tiles, objective tiles, and other beneficial rewards. When you shuffle your deck and eventually draw one of your workers back into your hand, you immediately place it in front of you to be used again. Plus, you can discard workers anytime on your turn to gain their worker bonus. Workers are always available for hire, and there are even wild workers that cost a little more but give you so much flexibility since you can use them as any of the other 3 types of workers. When the game ends, players score victory points for buildings, cattle cards, workers, discs on trading posts, and more, and the player with the most victory points wins. It also has a super cool solo mode for those times when you're alone and itching to deliver some cattle. Great Western Trail has been a huge hit since its debut in 2016. It evolved into multiple spin-offs that have their own flavor and setting while retaining the essence and core mechanisms of the original Great Western Trail formula, which so many gamers have grown to love because it's a top-notch Euro game with different paths to victory, along with a satisfying signature blend of rondel and deck building mechanisms. There's so much variability with the different double-sided building tiles and depending on where they're placed on the trail from game to game. And now with the compact and streamlined Great Western Trail El Paso, you can get this awesome strategy game to the table much easier and play it much faster than its older brother. Plus, it's a fantastic introduction to the series. If Great Western Trail El Paso sounds like a game you'd enjoy, be sure to check out its page on Board Game Geek. I'm Candace Harris from Board Game Geek, and we just went in focus on Great Western Trail El Paso. Have a wonderful day.